beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. Took care of some visits because my soul needed to say hi to my friend. And I feel a lot better just seeing my friend's face and knowing that he's still alive and breathing and taking care of himself slightly. But it's always nice to catch up with people I love no matter what happens, and make sure they know that I still care and that I still love them, and that I personally will not give up on trying to show them light and praying in the process that they come home to God and see beauty and love and compassion and kindness, and that there's good people out there willing to accept them and welcome them with open arms and understand them and the traumas they've had to endure and the pain they've had to endure in the process, that they're not alone. They don't have to struggle alone. Sometimes the good of us has to pull back because we need them to take care and be with themselves, because sometimes when we're alone, we discover our inner strength, and we do have that ability to connect in and be led. I just wish people weren't so blinded. But yeah, it makes me sad, but if I can at least get out here to visit him once a week, bring him food or whatever, I feel like I'm doing my part, showing love, and that I am an individual that does walk in faith of God and hope, and I believe in a brave new world, and I just wish certain people that I love could believe too, so they could turn it around for themselves and be back together as a family. But it's okay. He knows I love him, and he knows I care, and we're good. Plus, it is so nice to be out in nature just walking. I am contemplating going over to the Duluth side at Leif Erikson Park and seeing if I can find agates over there, because I tried the point last week. The water was so high that the rocks are at least like 4 or 5 feet ahead of me, and the water's freezing cold. I'm not getting in that muddy lake right now, but I think that Leif Erikson would be a good place to start my day before I start working. And I like going over there to build like rock towers and balance the rocks and create like little designs and patterns with the stones, and I don't know, it's really fun and relaxing and calming. And now that I've seen my friend and I know that he's safe enough, I feel a little better than I was like earlier, when I was like, oh, I'm just gonna give up and I'm not gonna visit him and I'm just gonna let him be. But I couldn't do that. He's been on my mind for a very long time, and it's been 2 months since I seen him, so I really wanted to see and check in on how he was doing. And then he had a friend show up that I don't know, I'm not familiar with. I don't really like his particular friends. They're They're really bad for him, actually. And that's part of his problem, is he's swimming with ghosts of the past that want to pull him back when he's always wanted to go forward. And until he cuts ties with these toxic people, he gets stuck. And so I feel like if I can at least show up and say, hey buddy, I love you, I care about you, I care about your well-being, and I just want to make sure that you're okay. Maybe, just maybe, he'll be like, hey, I want this kind of friend instead of what I've been bargaining for, just trying to not be alone. Because at the end of the day, I think this is on a societal scale. People are lonely and they're afraid to be alone. And because they're afraid to be alone, they accept less than they deserve. And Ethan deserves so much more. He is so intelligent and so brave. And the trauma and stuff that he's told me about that he had to endure, like, I get it. Him and I see eye to eye because I went through the same thing myself. And nobody cared. Nobody was there. My own family, like, did not come in to defend me, knowing what happened, and his family did the same. So it's like, we relate, but him and I are from two different worlds. Like, he went one way with his mindset, and I went another. Like, I've always been that friend that was more difficult to hang out with, because I was always the one putting good ideas in people's heads and saying, like, hey, no, we shouldn't do this, like, it's a bad idea. And because people just want to release their pain and trauma and just want to escape it and run from it instead of processing it, identifying triggers and understanding why they're falling behind, I tend to be more on the lone wolf status, because I do care a lot about people and I just want to see them make the best decisions for themselves and be clear with what they want in life. And at the end of the day, when I look at Ethan and I see the way he talks about women, and what he truly wants is a solid relationship, someone to respect him, someone that he can treat like a queen, and someone that will respect him back. And I said, well, it really takes going inward and identifying, like, who your ideal partner is and what their personality is going to look like to you. Like, you obviously want to align on the same values, and, like, you're probably going to have the same political stance even, and, like, look at the world the same, and your vibe is going to just be real, like, 100% of the time. Like, you're the partner for life sort of vibe. And then I was like, yeah, looks are important, it does matter, because I mean, I feel like, yes, you have to have attraction to a person to have, like, the full aspect of things, but it's certainly not the fundamental or the foundation of a good relationship. And if people are just stuck on dating people because of what they look like or their status or their fortune, people are going to become really miserable, because they're going to attract the wrong people. They're going to attract users, they're going to attract abusers, gaslighters, narcissists, people that with very high egos and not living from heart center. So I mean, I really like this blind faith thing where you kind of just take a chance and an opportunity to let love come in naturally and let it flow with ease and grace, and not worry too much about it, because anything that's meant to be is going to be right there. But it does take getting out of the house and socializing and meeting new people. Like, how do you know that your person isn't just, like, out there wide in the open at a park somewhere? And every step that he took up until that point led him to that exact moment. And the same goes for you. Every step you take led you to that exact moment. And it's almost like a scavenger hunt. Like, your paths cross because of magnetism and the universe really conspiring to bring people together. But if we're just too busy looking down at our phones, if we're too busy looking down at our feet and not looking up from time to time, we're going to miss the point. We're going to miss the abundance of love all around us at all times. I mean, you can walk into nature and go on a hike and you're still going to experience the unconditional love that God has planted for us. I mean, this is his master canvas. Earth, Mother Earth is his master canvas, his masterpiece that he provided us to feel whole and become one with and embrace. And when we're feeling doubt or we're feeling fear, that's not coming from God, that's coming from the enemy. And the enemy is really going to do everything they can to bring you down. And sometimes the enemy is even like our friends and family, because they put seeds of doubt into our minds that we can't do something. And if people are doing that to you, you don't need to like make a big scene or say, I'm fucking leaving, this is it. Just walk away and let distance come between you and that person, and see if that person comes back, if they call you. If they don't call you and they don't take time out for you in their day, were they really your friend to begin with? So it's kind of like an experiment. Like, look at it as like when you walk away from something, if it comes back, that means it was meant to be. And you as like the empath and the lover and the sensitive soul and the sensitive being that's been so busy throughout life, just go, 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 and never slow down, and just numbing pain just by staying busy and going to entertainment venues and living for the weekend versus celebrating every day and being grateful for every single experience you encounter, good or bad, because lessons do teach us and they help enhance our growth rate. And people should be constantly learning, constantly growing, and always desiring to become better versions of their previous selves. The only person we should be challenging is ourselves. There is no competition. There is no outside force that can dictate or control us if we don't allow it. So the voices of other people, telling you you can't do something and trying to like pull you backwards, is because they're stuck. And don't allow their stuck to become a part of you. Don't absorb their energy. Say, hey, I support you and I love being around you, but I have some things I want to achieve in life and I want to kind of go for that right now, and I may not be around very often, but I'm just going to take time for myself. And it's no offense against you or anything. I just want to kind of become curious with life and see what limitations I can break through. And I want to discover my inner strength and my inner warrior, and I want the same things for you. So like, maybe it's best that we step away for this moment in time, and I would like to meet with you for coffee or like a lunch in like a month, and let's see where each other's at. Like, that's how it should be. At least I feel like that would build a healthy boundary and establish balance for ourselves. And we can't sit here and complain if we're allowing others to run our lives. The government is the government. Like, it's obviously shit, and they do like control us. But outside of that, there's a lot of things that can be discovered and accessed still. And my favorite thing is we still have music, we still have art, we still have creativity. We're all natural born artists. And God gave us the paintbrush, and it's up to us to paint the canvas and create the masterpiece known as our life story. And maybe you made a mistake in the past. Forgive yourself and move on. Don't sit there and lament about the past. You're not living in the past right now. You're living in the present. And I really truly feel like if you want to travel to the past, like watch a good movie that makes you happy, or listen to a song that reminds you of a time in high school or prom or whatever it is, to bring that spark of joy back within you and get back home to you. Because at the end of the day, when we sit down and realize what we're doing here during this great awakening is awakening and unlocking our true inner potential and our inner strength, and that the fundamental and the basis of life and the purpose is love. To be loved, to love, and to fall in love with the perfect person. And I truly believe that God designed that for all of us, as long as we're willing to listen and be patient and be quiet and know ourselves. Because if you don't know yourself, how are you going to find that perfect person? So it's going to take sitting and becoming one with yourself. And is it really that lonely if you're discovering you and falling in love with things that bring joy into your life? I mean, if you've been wanting to like go and paint the fence, go fucking do it. What's stopping you? If money is an issue, I mean, we have things like DoorDash and Shipped and things to make supplemental income, and you can make pretty decent money like doing Uber, and you can get like a little pro card and the money's delivered into your account that second after you do the delivery. So you're constantly generating income flow. There's really no excuse to say that you're too broke. I mean, if you want something to happen, you're gonna make it happen at all costs. So if you want to get out there and paint that fence this weekend, what steps can you take today to make it happen? And then you don't have to sit there and worry anymore about that. And then set another goal and manifest it. And manifestation takes action. You can't just say, hey, I want, $1 million to fly from the sky. Yeah, nope, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not reality. You have to move your asses and get into gear and be clear about what you want. That's it. That's all. Love, peace, kindness, respect, unity, harmony, and loyalty, of course, always, for sacred union and divine partnership. But I love you guys. Y'all have a wonderful and amazing, blessed, good vibe afternoon.